Good morning, everybody. We are getting ready to do our rainbow painting. So you're going to need, for this part, some brushes, probably flat brushes for this first part, and some round brushes. I have a bunch of them sitting here in my dirty space here, and a rag, and some water, and these colors. We're going to have one big spot of white, a little white, light blue, little dark blue, yellow, and green. We're going to lay down our sky and our grass. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take a big brush like this guy right here, and you're going to mix some blue, some lighter, even lighter blue for our sky. Okay? And then we're going to go ahead and put that mostly at the top, and we're going to kind of go 2/3. So we're going to kind of stop like right in here. Okay? So go ahead and get that, a good layer of that laid down. You can make it smooth or painterly, whatever you're feeling. And then we're probably going to work some white back into it. Just a little bit. And then put some dark at the top, okay? That will kind of give it some color variance. That'll be good. I'm kind of scrubbing it just to get it in there. Don't forget your sides and your top. You don't want to go all the way down, of course, because you're going to have grass on part of that. Get that covered. It's going to be a happy picture. It's a beautiful day where I'm at right now in Indiana. It's very cool and sunny and gorgeous. Clear skies, a lot like what we are painting right now. I'm putting in some whites, and I am just kind of lightening up this blue just a little bit in some places, okay? Mostly towards the center of the canvas, because at the top, after we get this laid in, we're going to put just a little bit of dark blue. And sort of, what I'm gonna do is just take my cleaning rag, and I'm just gonna kind of wiggle it like this. I don't necessarily need it to be completely clean, but I want to get most of the pigment out of it, and then put a little blue. We're gonna use this dark blue. I had an eraser in there. We're gonna use this dark blue just on the tip of our brush, okay? And then we're gonna kind of put a line up here of dark blue. Okay, don't want it to be super duper thick, but just lay that in there. And then we're going to clean our brush in our water. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just get the majority of the paint out. And then we're going to clean it off, getting most of the water out. I just dumped a bunch of paint water on myself. Get most of the water out. We're going to use this same brush to sort of blend that dark blue into that light blue. Okay, so we're going to take our sort of clean brush. It's a little bit damp. I feel like I still want to get a little bit more water out of it. And then we're just going to kind of blend it. Okay, well, we want it to look like that the sky is going from sort of dark to light. It just makes the picture look nice. And I'm going to come down just a little bit. Okay, that just gives a little bit of variance to the sky up there. Just sort of blend it out. Okay, now we can move to round brushes. Let's get our, oh, maybe I don't have a large round brush. One of my brushes had paint left in it. I washed it out, but I guess I didn't wash it out well enough. So I guess a medium round brush or large round brush would work. And we're going to get into that, well, you know what? I changed my mind. Let's get a flat brush, because I do want to go ahead and lay this down and let that dry just a little bit before we do our clouds. So let's mix up a really bright, mostly yellow, okay, and a touch of green. We're going to keep this super, and actually I might have even put too much green in there. We're going to lay in our grass area. Now we're going to try to clean this up a little. Okay. So kind of come up in that blue. Lay your grass in. Now if you want to do some sort of bumpy, you can do that. I'm mostly going to do mine straightish. But if you want to make like a little, some little bumps. And I might actually go ahead and get some more yellow, because what we're doing is laying down the lightest color first. And I'm sort of scrubbing that in, because that yellow is actually coming into play more. I actually like that. I'm going to kind of scrub this down a little maybe. Now you can make yours bumpy if you want. I'm going to keep mine kind of straight just because I like the look of it for this particular painting. Okay. Isn't that fun? All right. And I'm going to put just a little bit of yellow at the top, because we want it to be kind of like dark, light, and then light again, lighter. So in this part, I'm going to put straight, I'm going to clean my brush out on my rag a little bit. It doesn't have to be watered down, but just, and then we're going to take this straight yellow and we're going to put it up here. I just want, what I want to do is make this section right here really light. Light green, almost glow in the dark. You can even come in here and do some like this if you want to lay that color in. I'm going to clean my brush because I'm picking up a lot of green. Don't want that yellow blob, because this particular picture for me is going to be sort of a smooth application. Okay. All right. I still don't like that. I'll keep going up higher and higher. I don't like this blob right there. Okay, we got some lights laid in the top there. Very good. Clean that brush out really good. And I'm going to hit this with a little bit of a heat dryer real quick. All right, we're going to let that finish up drying. And now let's go ahead and let's add in some dark greens. I'm going to add this color and this turquoisey color. I kind of mix it with the blue. We're going to lay in a couple different colors of green on top of this other green. We're going to go from dark to light, okay? So I'm probably going to use a round brush, and I'm going to start by adding a little of this white to this green. We're going to start in this really, like right up in here. We're just going to start laying in some little dabs in a downward motion. Just keeping it mostly at the top where that light yellow is that we laid in. This is a very sort of stylized grass and rainbow picture. You can start to mix in as you go down some little bit darker ones. But I need to make sure I'm not mixing too much. Just put some dabs in there. And you can keep them super neat and clean if you want and keep them separated, but I'm just sort of having a little bit of play fun this morning. So we're going to keep those lights up here. Just sort of go from light to dark. We're just laying in texture. Now, if you want to come up above your line, you can. In this piece, I'm not going to do that because I don't want that to be a distraction from our rainbow, okay? But you can do whatever you like because it's your painting. If you really want to see the grass blades coming up, you can. Okay, so we've laid in those areas. Now let's do a little bit darker. So I'm just mixing right in here, not even cleaning, and then I'm going to go ahead and lay in this middle layer here. Just random little. And I'm actually trying to keep my paintbrush more thin than fat. I mean, it kind of gets a little bit fatter, but just lay in some little grass. Now we're going to hit this next one, this next color of green here. And we're going to kind of come up just a little bit from there. And just lay in some little dabs that kind of go down below. Just kind of randomly lay them in. You can bring them down just a little bit if you want. I do want some of them to be kind of dark in there to give our picture some interest. Okay, and then we're going to go on the bottom with this turquoise. We're going to kind of mix it with this other green, this turquoise and this green together and make a nice color. And then we're going to do our very bottom layer in this dark color. And you can even do it like this, do it up. Maybe that's a better way to have approached it. It's mostly dark at the bottom and then kind of comes up. I don't know, I kind of like it the other way because it's consistent with what we've done. So whatever direction you want to come from. And just a little highlight reminder that when we add lights and darks to our work, that brings drama and excitement to our work. So it's good to make some variances in your lights and darks. That makes it emotional and exciting to look at as the viewer. Okay, so a lot of coloring isn't necessarily hard. I mean, there's some that are more challenging, but when you do lights and darks, you same the colors and you add darks and lights to it, either white and or black, or, you know, a darker color. Gosh, it looks beautiful. Okay, so our grass is done. Now, the next thing that we have to do is, and this is going to be the thing that probably will confuse you a little bit, but I actually want to create a band of white where the rainbow is going to go, okay? So I'm going to clean my brush really good. We're going to do where our rainbow goes first. You need to get some clean white, so scoop some white out from where you got it messy, or get some new white. And we're going to paint in where our rainbow is going to go, because we want our colors to be super, super bright, okay? So we're going to start like a light, and you know, it works better when the blue is a little dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay out our rainbow where our rainbow is going to go. So you make your rainbow where you want your rainbow to be. The reason we're doing this is because some of our colors are not going to look the same on top of that blue, okay? So we are laying down a ground that we will let dry, and then we're going to put our rainbow on top of it. And that will give our colors of our rainbow a brightness, and it will shine through instead of being muddy. Okay, see how that's already getting a little bit blue there. And that's okay, because we are going to cover it, but we don't want to mix it too much, okay? So try not to mix it. Okay, I think this one needs to go out just a little bit more, so I'm going to try to keep it as neat as you can in this application, because it's actually that neatness that brings a special quality to this painting. You can make your rainbow to be bigger at the top or smaller at the top. It just your style, however you want to do it. I'm trying to give myself enough room to have the colors that I want to blend. Okay? When you get a good layer on that, we don't want it super thick, but whatever you need to do to get it laid out the way that you think it looks good. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of wipe some of that off. I got a little bit of green yellow in my white, so I'm going to clean this off really good. And I'm going to get some cleanish white. It can have a little blue in it because we're going to do some clouds, okay? So you have to pick kind of where you want your clouds to be. And we're going to kind of, first of all, we're going to kind of put some paint on, and then we're going to kind of wipe it. And then we're going to kind of dry brush this. So we're going to do some circles. I'm using a flat brush. You could use a round brush. I'm laying out the shapes first, and then I'll go back and put in a little bit of extra white. So I'm just sort of laying out some shapes here that look happy in a circular motion. And as I said, it can be kind of dry right now. Okay, there's one cloud. Maybe there's another lighter one here, so I'm going to go really dry brush on this one. Maybe there's just a little one here. Maybe one that kind of comes over here behind this rainbow a little bit. You can even make them sort of disappear if you wanted to. Just sort of wisp off the side of your paper. I'm really dry brushing, just kind of scrubbing in a circular motion, just to kind of give the appearance that the clouds are sort of floating away. Okay. All right, we've got 3. Let's make a little bit of something down here. I don't know. I kind of feel like this one should go ahead and go into the rainbow. It looks weird right now, but it will be fine once we put our white in. I mean our rainbow in. And then maybe let's put a couple of good whites in on top just to show some depth in those clouds, some poofiness. And those places where you dry brush now will sort of be like a shadow in there, okay? Okay, looks good. All right, now let's do a little dry brushing down here. Let's maybe put something right in here, just the slightest hint. Of a cloud, and maybe one over here, just the slightest hint. Oops, I hit into my rainbow there, didn't I? Okay. And then maybe, you know, this is a dreamy picture, so we're kind of, you know, just making it dreamy. There's probably too many clouds in here, but... circular motions. And don't forget to do the underside. You want to have some depth on the bottoms, okay? All right, I think that's good. We're going to stop right here, and then we'll come back and lay on our rainbow and we'll be done.